And joining me now, founder of Power the Future, energy policy expert, Daniel Turner. Daniel, good to have you with us. How are you?
Great to be with you. Thank you so much.
So we're seeing oil prices come down, investment into America go up, and a mission to reverse the damage done over decades to strengthen our energy infrastructure. How does the tariff policy tie into all of that, in your opinion?
Yeah, oil is really at an important moment right now. Actually, just a couple hours ago, we put out a statement asking for the president to refill the strategic petroleum reserves. Remember,
seems like a
Biden
good time to do it
them.
below 60, right? I mean, that's
Exactly. Biden drained them during his 4 years to less than a third. We really have very little oil supply. He promised to refill them at $72 a barrel. He never did. Well, with oil at 60, 61, now is a really good time to refill them. But the tariffs are absolutely going to play a role in this. You look at the previous administration that tried to made a huge effort to import oil from Iran, from Venezuela, from the Saudis. Joe Biden went to Saudi Arabia begging for oil when we have enough domestic potential here. And so I think that the tariffs will definitely help to spur domestic oil production. We don't need to be looking overseas to bring in crude when we have enough crude under our own feet. We just need the policies and the permissions in place to be able to bring it to market.
You recently posted a video about the war on coal and how it really decimated American cities, towns, especially in rural America. How will the next 4 years under President Trump be our opportunity to unleash American energy and make rural America great again?
Yeah, coal is why I started Power the Future. It's really where the heart of this organization is, because for years we watched coal miners just get devastated during the Obama administration with the war on coal. And just as perspective, America used to be the world's largest producer of coal. We're now fifth. And yet the actual consumption, worldwide consumption of coal has gone up dramatically. So it's not like we're not producing coal and no one is. It's that our slice of the pie has just gotten smaller and smaller while the pie has gotten larger. And I've struggled with this notion that it's bad for America to produce coal, but it's fine for 9-year-old girls in Indonesia and Malaysia and China to produce coal. And that's a lot of what these tariffs are pointing out, these globalist policies that say, let's offshore industry because it's cheap to use slave labor. It's cheap to pay children when you don't have to pay insurance, and do training and give them safety goggles and helmets. And so we've decimated rural America, rural coal towns, and we've turned a blind eye to the fact that the coal industry is thriving using abominable environmental and human rights policies. And we're celebrating this as some sort of green victory. So we need coal, desperately we need coal in America. And this is the chance to resurrect a coal industry, because it doesn't just produce electricity. We need it for steel. We need it for cement. We need it for almost everything around you at one point was touched by coal. And having more domestic coal will lower those prices for all goods and services. So coal is crucial, and coal miners are crucial to our economy.
Yeah, and it sort of feels like all the other things, whether it's lithium or the other things that go into batteries or whatever it may be around the world. I mean, we could have it here, but we won't do it. But we let them do it. And we know the other countries, whether it's India, China, or otherwise, they're not going to do anything in an environmentally positive way. I mean, in America, you wouldn't even have a choice. So we could do it. And it's not like our coal reserves are non-existent just because perhaps we started harvesting coal, a little bit earlier than a lot of the other industrial nations. We have incredible coal reserves, don't we?
Oh, we have centuries of coal reserves in just Pennsylvania and Wyoming. Alaska is basically one large lump of coal. So many of our reserves, we don't even know how much we have because we're not allowed to explore. Same with our oil and gas. People say, how many millions of barrels or billions of barrels do we have? We have guesstimates, but there are parts of the country that we've never been able to properly explore, and we don't really know how much we have. And those are centuries of known reserves at today's current use. So I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. I call the organization Power the Future for a reason. I don't know what tomorrow's going to, the discovery it will be. But I do know right now we live a really intense fossil fuel lifestyle. And if we punish ourselves now, we're not going to have a better tomorrow. We're going to have a worse off now and poverty and misery. And that's what Biden gave us, right? He promised the green agenda. And what did he do? He made Russia rich. He made Iran rich. And he made Americans poorer. And he drove up the cost of all goods. That was the green agenda. So why would we want to pursue more of those policies, which just brought misery worldwide?
Yeah, and it seems like, with quantum computing, AI, all of the things that, really are going to drive so much of the future, if we don't have the power to be able to power, all of those processors and whatever else may go into this, we're going to be struggling to compete with a China who's opening up dozens of coal-fired power plants every year to make up this difference. So it's not like, we share an airspace and we're going to pull back, but like we'll destroy our middle class and our tech advantage while they make all the power in the world, while they pollute, with reckless abandon.
Yeah, it's a great point. And these data centers and AI will require 2 or 3 times more electricity than we're currently producing. And so if you want to build one of these data centers, you need to go where there's reliable energy and grid infrastructure. And America right now is in a bad position with our grid infrastructure. And the president inherited a mess. So yeah, if you're going to build these centers, you're going to turn to other countries, maybe China, but maybe just one of our allies, maybe just not America. And I have no dislike for Canada, or I have no dislike for New Zealand, but I want it to be built here. And they're only going to be built here if we have the necessary energy infrastructure. And we're in a terrible position right now because of 4 years of really regressive anti-energy policies. So the president, his agenda will work, but it's going to take a while to turn around this ship because of how much damage was done to our energy economy and energy infrastructure.
Yeah, I mean, is it as simple as just sort of spooling back up what went down, or is it more complicated than that? Is that as simple? It's not like flipping a switch, right? Getting people to get back into mines and to utilize those plants, some of whom have been shut down. Not so simple. I mean, nuclear, obviously another viable option, but that's probably even a longer ramp-up period unless you get really active in the small modular reactor space, et cetera.
Yeah, exactly. This is a complicated issue, and that's why this White House Energy Dominance Council is so important, because we need all of government solution for an issue, for a problem set that comes from every direction, right? The Biden administration punished lenders in the fossil fuel industry. Gary Gensler, when he was head of the SEC, told the banking industry, if you loan to the fossil fuel community, we're going to punish you with higher base points on lending, right? We're going to punish you. They don't want to see fossil fuel investments. So that's one side. On the back end, you've got an entire infrastructure that punished gas stoves, gas cars, gas appliances. So there's back end. So when people say, well, why is the energy industry suffering? There's not one simple reason. They attacked it from multiple directions. And then you have some of these globalist quasi-government entities that exist. You referenced it earlier, the EXIM Bank, which gave this $5 billion loan to a French company that's going to build a natural gas pipeline in Mozambique. The EXIM Bank doesn't have any money. It's taxpayer funded. Yeah. And yet these unelected bureaucrats, talk about unelected bureaucrats, these unelected bureaucrats gave a French company $5 billion to build a pipeline in Africa that's directly going to compete with our natural gas industry. So who are these agencies? Who are these entities that are thwarting America's fossil fuel look, I got no animosity towards Mozambique, but I'll be damned if I want to have them compete with the energy industry coming from Texas and Alaska. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, you had a viral tweet last week showing just that. It was French President Macron telling French companies to stop investing in the U.S. I think that's where I saw the original story, and I spoke about it in sort of the intro. What's happened to Europe? I mean, their energy policy is even worse. I mean, they used to laugh when my father said, hey, maybe you don't want to become so dependent on Russia. Then they do. It's a disaster. You have a war now, and, they wouldn't take it from us. I mean, like all things they mock him on, he always ends up being right in the long run. But they seem to be operating on a totally different planet at this point.
They do. And